We need to talk about Sonic Frontiers. Sega and IGN has released some exclusive gameplay for the upcoming game this week as a part of IGN First, and the reception online hasn't been too good from what I've seen. Sonic Frontiers aims to take the franchise in a bold new direction by giving players open zones to play around in. After rewatching the gameplay multiple times, it pains me to say this, but I think Sega should give this more time in the oven. As much as it would pain me to have to wait to get my hands on this, I'd rather play a product that is more polished than something that we've seen so far that, to be honest, looks like it's still in the alpha stages. This game has already been delayed before to improve its quality because Sega really wants to nail this one after the poor reception of Sonic Forces, which for the record wasn't a bad game but definitely had its share of problems. It's a fact that there is a stigma around 3D Sonic games. I believe Sonic Team and Sega are aware of the reputation around these games and want to produce a high quality product. So far, IGN has released several videos, the first of which was a short reveal of the gameplay, while the other two focused on showcasing exploration and combat. I've seen a lot of people saying that this looks like an Unreal Engine tech demo, and after rewatching the videos last night, I can't exactly disagree. I think one of the reasons why this game is giving people that impression so far is the more realistic art style, the tranquil background music, the lack of UI, and the level design, among other things. The more realistic art style is definitely something that some fans might not like, and combined with the placement of some of the platforms and rails, some of which are just floating in mid-air, I can understand why this might look like someone dumped Sonic into an Unreal Engine test environment. With that said, I don't mind the game not having a cartoony art style, and I wasn't too bothered by the level design. However, I do think it's currently lacking the charm and personality of a Sonic game. Part of that could be due to the very dry, limited voiceover for the titular blue blur and use of serene background music as opposed to something more traditional sounding from the franchise. Another criticism I've seen online is in regards to the traversal, in which some people claim that Sonic is too slow. I completely disagree with that assessment. As Sonic was moving through the environment and picked up speed, it looked like the character was running at a very fast pace. I think there's already a good sense of speed in the game. I don't understand how anyone could look at the gameplay and say that the character moves too slow. Sonic has always started off slow and then picked up speed as you move around the environment. Is the problem some people have with it acceleration? There were times where Sonic is shown walking as the player picked up rings and items, but that's okay. The character isn't supposed to start off moving insanely fast, otherwise it might be too difficult to control the character to pick up stuff as you're casually exploring. I've also seen people saying that the movement seemed a bit stiff, which I don't agree with either. While I wasn't blown away by what I saw in the exploration video, the traversal does look like it'll be a lot of fun. I'm hoping that there is some variety when it comes to the places that we'll get to explore. It's worth mentioning that I did notice some pop-in as Sonic ran through the environment. They showcased some of the environmental puzzles and a new mechanic where you can run around in a circle, creating a blue trail around different objects, which affects each one differently. I've seen people criticizing the simplicity of the puzzles, but it's possible that there will be harder ones later on in the game. I like the idea of this new mechanic, and I hope that they utilize it well to make the game more fun and challenging. They showed that this mechanic can be used not only for solving environmental puzzles, but also in combat, which I'll talk about later. There's a moment in the video where Sonic got on a treadmill machine, and then it sent out a pulse that seems like it revealed things in the environment. I wonder if this is Frontier's equivalent to the towers commonly found in Ubisoft games, which expands the map and adds points of interest. One last thing I want to address before talking about the combat is the standard "the world seems empty" comments I've seen. Every time an open world game gets revealed, that's the same complaint that I always see. Not saying it isn't a valid observation, but people need to keep in mind that this is a small portion of the game that we're seeing. There could be a ton of things to do and see that they just haven't shown us yet. Also, I need people to keep the same energy. The world seems empty? Oh, you mean like every other recent open world game? That didn't stop people from enjoying stuff like Breath of the Wild, Elden Ring, or Horizon Forbidden West. All I'm saying is let's wait until they show more of the game before being so dismissive about it being open world. And this is coming from a guy who got so burnt out on open world games that I stopped buying a lot of them years ago. Anyway, yesterday IGN dropped a new video that focused on showcasing the new combat system. There are a few new attacks Sonic can perform this time around, including a dive kick and a move where he shoots out air blasts. In addition to the new attack options, you can also now dodge incoming attacks. While I like that Sonic Team is expanding Sonic's moveset, it could certainly be more refined. They show how you can go from the typical bounce attack into a flurry of punches and kicks, or follow it up with a dive kick. My issue with the combat system is how certain attacks like the dive kick, or the attack where Sonic charges at the enemy from the air, are presented. In general, some of the animations are unpolished, most notably the attack where Sonic is twirling around in the air and the dive kick. Those animations looked awful. Also, I forgot to mention this earlier, but it seems like you can do tricks in the air or something, in which those animations could also be better. Animations aside, I'm certainly interested to see how the new circling mechanic will be used to fight a variety of enemies. The video ended off with Sonic fighting against a boss, in which you had to use this new feature to raise its leg in order to hit it. Overall, I think this game has the potential to be a great Sonic game if the developers are given more time to work on it. There's a lot of hate for Sonic Frontiers already, and some of it might be justified, but a lot of it seems to be coming from people who are already gonna crap on it from the get-go regardless of its quality. I've mentioned years ago on this channel how there are people in the Sonic community that absolutely despise 3D Sonic games and will only champion the 2D games, especially the older Genesis titles. I was listening to a podcast just this week in which some guy acted like there's never been any good 3D Sonic games, which is totally not the case. Sonic Adventure 2 is a very good and beloved game that people still clamor for a sequel to this day. There have been several great 3D games, but people only seem to remember the failures. Many years ago, I've talked about how Sega has been holding the franchise back by trying to cater to two different audiences. The Genesis Sonic fans have been getting high on nostalgia with the release of Sonic Mania, and the people like me who are invested in the more modern iterations of the series. I just saw a comment this week where a guy was complaining that Sega is allowing Sonic Team to make more 3D Sonic games instead of focusing on more Sonic Mania type ventures, which would be totally stupid in my opinion. Not only that, but it would also be lazy. I'll be blunt, if you want to play those older games, then go buy Sonic Origins. You could also just use an emulator or buy some other collections that they have out there. The worst thing for this franchise right now is staying stagnant, which is exactly what would happen if they continue to invest in these more retro titles like Sonic Mania. I want the franchise to evolve, which is why I'm glad Sonic Team is attempting to switch things up with Sonic Frontiers. I'd rather see them take risks and fail so long as they learn from their mistakes. I was hoping that this game could release this holiday, but considering what we're seeing now, I expect them to delay it to next year. I don't think too many people would be upset with them taking more time to make the game better. Anyway, let me know what you guys thought about the gameplay release so far for Sonic Frontiers, and thank you guys for watching. I'm out of here. Peace.